My granddad gave me my first car. That single moment planted a seed that would eventually grow into one of the most compelling stories in automotive history. We all know Matt Armstrong as the guy who can take a pile of scrap metal and turn it into a masterpiece with nothing but grit and a toolkit. He is the ultimate legend of the car world, and his passion for saving so-called unfixable cars has made millions of viewers feel like they are right there in the garage with him. But his latest project has hit a massive, heartbreaking roadblock. The man who almost always has a smile on his face was recently seen in tears, not because of a mechanical failure or a broken engine, but because Bugatti has reportedly hit him with a staggering $19.2 million lawsuit regarding his most ambitious rebuild to date. The emotional toll on Matt is clear to see. So, why exactly did it come to this? Let us dive into the full story from the very beginning. Before he was the king of the salvage yard, Matt Armstrong was just a kid growing up in Leicester, England. Born on June 11, 1993, he did not learn about engines from a textbook. He learned by watching his dad, Tony, tear them apart in the family garage. While other kids were out playing with toys, Matt was quietly absorbing the mechanical knowledge that would one day make him a legend. Life was not always a smooth ride. His parents split up when he was young, but Matt stayed grounded, heading to Lutterworth College and even trying his hand at real estate through the buy, refurbish, and refinance strategy. He was chasing financial freedom. But before he found it with a toolkit, he found it on two wheels. Long before the YouTube millions, Matt was a professional BMX rider, flying through the air at freestyle competitions across Europe and Dubai. He was good enough to earn sponsorships from brands like Mad Gear Pro, and it was actually BMX that first put a camera in his hands. He started filming his stunts to share with sponsors, unknowingly building the video editing skills that would later take the internet by storm. But the life of a pro athlete is a brutal one. Despite the travel and excitement, the sponsorships barely covered his flights, and the income was essentially non-existent. Then came the crash that changed everything. During a qualifying run at the BMX World Championships in Germany, Matt dislocated his shoulder so badly that it ended his career at just 20 years old. That injury could have been the end of his story. Instead, it turned out to be the spark. Forced to hang up the bike, Matt pivoted back to his roots in the garage, trading the handlebars for a wrench. A career-ending heartbreak became the foundation for the most successful automotive channel on the planet. The same grit he used to land backflips was exactly what he needed to turn a pile of scrap metal into a viral sensation. When Matt Armstrong first hit the upload button back in April 2013, he was not trying to become an automotive titan. Behind the scenes, he was a man of many side hustles, doing whatever it took to keep the lights on. He was delivering food, pulling pints behind a bar, and working retail shifts in tuning shops, all while soaking up every bit of mechanical wisdom he could at his father Tony's garage. The real turning point came from a moment of total chaos. His girlfriend Hannah's Audi TT was smashed in a nasty crash. Most people would have called the insurance company and walked away. Not Matt. He saw a salvage title and a massive opportunity. He bought the wreck, rolled it into the garage, and decided to document the entire rebuild from start to finish. That Audi TT was not just a car. It was the birth of a brand. It established the high stakes, all-in format that fans have come to love, buying the cars nobody else wants and bringing them back from the dead right before your eyes. By the time the pandemic had locked the world down, Matt was ready to shift into the big leagues. He picked up a damaged Bentley Continental GT, a move that felt like a massive gamble at the time, but it paid off in a way nobody expected. That project blew the doors off his channel, proving that he could handle luxury cars just as confidently as street racers. But none of this was luck. In those early days, Matt was juggling his YouTube ambitions with a grueling 9-to-5 job, spending his nights covered in oil and his mornings editing until his eyes bled. He treated YouTube like a serious profession long before it actually paid the bills. He committed to a consistent upload schedule, dropping new episodes every week or two to keep his viewers hooked on the drama of each build. That consistency eventually caught the attention of some heavy hitters. When the Grand Tour's own Richard Hammond reacted to his work, it was like hitting the nitro button on his growth. Once his YouTube income finally surpassed his day job salary, Matt did not slow down. He doubled down, going full-time as a creator in late 2019. As of early 2026, his main channel sits at over 6.3 million subscribers with views in the hundreds of millions. But what really makes the Matt Armstrong experience feel different from every other car channel is the heart behind the horsepower. His partner Hannah and his dad Tony are not just cameos. They are the soul of the story. Tony Armstrong, the man who taught Matt everything he knows about engines, is a fan favorite for good reason. The raw emotion of their partnership was on full display when they teamed up to rebuild a Ferrari F430 as a heartfelt gift, and again in 2025 when Matt bought a flood-damaged Aston Martin DBX and restored it for his dad. That video alone racked up over 6 million views, because people do not just come for the torque, they come for the family. In a world of overly polished influencers and scripted reality, Matt Armstrong is the breath of fresh air the car community desperately needed. He openly describes himself as just a regular guy winging it. He is not a master technician with a wall of certifications. He is a guy with an angle grinder, a massive dream, and zero fear of failure. When Matt hits a roadblock or snaps a bolt, he does not edit it out. He lets viewers feel the frustration right along with him. That emotional transparency is precisely why people who cannot tell a spark plug from a piston are still rooting for him. We have all been knee-deep in a DIY project that is going south, and watching someone like Matt struggle makes us feel like we are part of the team. Do not let the winging it attitude fool you, though. Matt is a masterful storyteller. Even though his videos can run for nearly an hour, fans are glued to their screens for every single second. He does not just show you how to fix a car. He takes you on a high-stakes journey. Every project is a saga filled with villains in the form of seized engines and heroes in the form of last-minute creative fixes. He structures each build like a movie. The dramatic opening where he buys a wreck, the grueling middle chapters where everything seems lost, and the epic finale of the first drive. That wreck-to-redemption narrative is what keeps millions of people coming back for more. In 2024, he dropped £184,000 on a totally destroyed Rolls-Royce Wraith, formerly owned by Manchester United star Marcus Rashford. It was a £750,000 car reduced to a pile of scrap, and the entire internet thought he had finally bitten off more than he could chew. But Matt documented every painful step, and the story grew so big that Rashford's own team reached out to help, sending over spare keys and custom parts to ensure the build was authentic. When that Rolls-Royce finally purred back to life, Matt did not just drive it around the block. He took it on a triumphant road trip across Europe, all the way back to the Mansory factory in Germany. Seeing the original designer's jaws drop at what a guy in a garage had achieved was the ultimate payoff. Pinning, rumors began circulating about a $6 million Bugatti Chiron Sport that had been completely totaled in Miami. The owner was looking at a $1.7 million repair bill from the insurance company, a figure so astronomical that the car was officially written off and sent to a Copart salvage auction. Most people saw a crumpled mess of carbon fiber and kept walking. Matt Armstrong saw the ultimate challenge. He did not just want to fix it. He wanted to prove that a guy with a toolkit could do what the factory said was impossible. The front end was a total disaster. Crumpled metal deployed airbags, and a shopping list of parts that would make a billionaire sweat, including the iconic horseshoe grille, the hood, the wings, and the signature headlights, all smashed to pieces. But the moment Matt got the Bugatti back to the UK, the corporate hammer dropped. Bugatti did not just decline to help. They locked the VIN, meaning no dealership anywhere on the planet would sell him so much as a single bolt for the car. Then things turned personal. Bugatti CEO Matt Rimac stepped into the social media conversation, calling out Matt's claims and setting the internet on fire. When Matt talked about using 3D printed parts to get the hypercar roadworthy again, Rimac publicly stated it could not be done safely and that the parts prices circulating online were wildly inflated. He even offered to let Matt bring the car to the Bugatti facility in Molsheim for an inspection, but Matt held his ground. He knew that if the car went back to France, it would be stripped down and the costs would balloon until the project became impossible. With the official parts supply locked down, Matt and his team got creative. They sourced airbags from an Audi A3 and had custom radiators built from scratch to replace the destroyed units. The coolant, fuel, intercooler, and ECU systems all had to be revived from the dead. It was a massive gamble, especially since the car had reportedly been driven without coolant after the crash, which usually means certain engine death. But against all the odds, they fired it up and the W16 engine roared back to life for the first time.